Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I've got a video for you. In this game, we're playing up against the rank 1 tank, the rank 1 DPS player, the rank 1 support player, two others in this 5-stack.
Both teams have locked in their lineups,
Yeah,
and the game's
this is not my first game I've played against these guys today. We played one earlier. Obviously, I'm a solo queue player, so I get randomly assigned teammates. And unless I'm getting equivalent to rank 1 players, now, okay, it's the start of the season, but as of now, the equivalent to rank 1 players on my team, then it's always going to be an imbalanced match. With these guys, they have pre-picked their teammates, knowing that they're very talented players. And yeah, they get to go into this game pretty much either finding even games or where they have where they have an advantage. Now look, I have no problem with people 5-stacking and playing as a group. Social gaming's fun. Also, playing a tryhard stack is fun. But Blizzard Matchmaker should only put these people against other 5-stacks. As a solo queue player, in this match, for example, we've got a duo. So it's a 5-stack against a duo and 3 solo queue players. 5-stacks should only ever go against 5-stacks. I'm sorry, but it's too big of an advantage where we have to rely on the matchmaking lottery to get our to hopefully get some good players. We get 2 random solo queue players who might be high rank or something, but have previously grouped to get that rank, and the game's just done. Either way, this game is very good. We have some good players on our team this game, unlike the last one, which they just 4-0'd us. So this game now, we've got a very, very good tank player. The DPS are pretty damn good as well. And we're actually going to have a game this time. Round 1, though, to get shot at by the Tracer and eliminated. In the previous game I played against these guys, I went for a more healer-based build, but it simply didn't work. So immediately going against these guys again, I was like, right, I'm going for a DPS build. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Try and get the healing orb through to the Mercy while also grasping the Sigma. Mercy's going for the res though. Can we take the Mercy down? Not before the res. We can get her afterwards. Gonna fade the rock, get on the high ground as well. Tracer blinking around up top. Gets there very quickly, but yeah, well, we saw. It's not really anticipated, we saw it. So yeah, we managed to take the first midpoint. It is tricky though, because you can also tell multiple times in this game that they have comms and coordination with how they're grouping up, with how they're like pushing points or waiting for certain things. You know, it is a try-hard 5-stack, and again, no problem with people doing that, but it should really only be stack versus stack. If there's duo, it should be duo versus duo, and solo queues. They need to match the numbers in the group, because more group players, simply put, is a bigger advantage. And yeah, I will probably rant about that a few times. I apologize for that, as the enemy team do push over onto the point. It is only the first round though. Things get exciting later on. Mercy's chasing us down. Kiriko also TP's in. Yeah, we're not going to survive that even with a heal orb. Enemy Kiriko's going for a DPS based build. Mercy looks like the healing's all going to be up to them. It's kind of similar to us. You know, we've got a Mercy as well for healing, also damage amping, potentially amping yeah, the DPS here. Flank going in, taking out Mercy and Casti there. Sigma's up top. Gonna fire a heal orb to keep ourselves alive after the drop, and also aim it at the Winston. We do retake the point though. Sigma opting for this flying build. We take them down as well. And yeah, up to 70%. Round 1's going well so far. And honestly, like, after the previous game, in my head it was just without looking at the players. Like on our team, I was like, this is just going to be another 4-0. And normally on a typical day of Stadium, if I play at peak gaming times, it's this kind of team composition that I have to go up against in like 90% of my games. It's some sort of group consisting of 3 or more players, all high ranked players, and I normally get a duo or all solo queues on my team. So yeah, we're at 99%. Sigma's in trouble. Chain grasp does take down the Cassidy. We've punched the Sigma in the face. And there's only a Tracer who looks like they're not going to contest. Round 1, we get the victory. And a nice 3k cash lead. MVP as well, 15k. That's really going to help get this chain grasp build up and running. So yeah, I wanted to go for this DPS build because I knew from the last game, with the Kiriko going damage based, their healing's going to suffer. And if I can make the Mercy dart around between different targets by putting out this AoE damage, then their tank will probably suffer from it. Because if we're all just kind of firing at the front line, Sigma's very strong right now, we'd be in a bit of trouble. So we're going to go with my favorite 2 chain grasp items to start with, Advanced Antibiotics and Shield Buster. And then, I mean, they've got a Tracer, so it would just be a good idea to get Field Support, the gadget. It gives us an extra bit of weapon power, but crucially it gives us 25 armor. Going to sell Armored Vest because we've got enough to buy 2 1k items. So we can, say, get Compensator and Ballistic Buffer. Looking at the other options, but yeah, Ballistic Buffer's the obvious choice. It just gives us some overhealth at random times. We're not using it specifically for any reason. It could be a long-range Sigma shot, a long-range Kiriko shot. It could be a Cassidy, or just a few bullets from Tracer. But just having that, like, 50 overhealth every 15 seconds? Yeah, I think it is. Can be really handy. It just buys us time to get our life back up or survive a little incoming burst. So I really like Ballistic Buffer as an item. Gonna get some healing out here while we just make part progress. Dodge the rock there. Chain grasp over onto Sigma. Is chaining to other targets. Sigma behind the shield though, flying. So yeah, we're gonna push up and see if we can put again a bit more chain grasp pressure on them. We get 3 people in most of the chain grasp there. That is gonna make them heal around a bit. Also, the Kiriko will do some healing. So anytime that we're making the Kiriko heal, then that means there's less DPS pressure on our team. Unfortunately, with the rotation, we couldn't get to our tank in time, but Sigma is quite low. Cassidy's pushing. Sigma's still very, very low. We do take them down. Tracer now. Oh, wins, I want to say 1v1, but they might have even been in a 1v2 there. Great play from them. And we're making more objective progress. This is going a lot better than the last game, that is. And most of the games when you play against a high-ranked legend stack. We hear footsteps over there, but I didn't see them. There is the Tracer. We can always drop our gadget. That buys us a little bit of time, but we've got to watch out for the Cassidy headshots. Sparta's a very good DPS Kiriko player and also a DPS player. I mean, they're rank 1 right now, so... And he's a monkey just spinning around. Gonna dodge the rock again, but yeah, we get tagged by a Cassidy shot and then a Kiriko headshot. So enemy team gonna be able to catch up a little bit here. Cassidy wins the kind of 1v1, or at least in the middle of that team fight, but then gets taken down by Cybrox there. And enemy team making a little bit of progress. Tracer making it a bit difficult for them. We're still in the lead though. Sigma very low. Mercy's going to have to tag that. And can I help win this Tracer 1v1? Yeah, I mean, we're just going to throw a damage orb in there so that maybe if our Tracer does get killed, we've got a softer enemy Tracer to deal with. We're not going to stay the whole time over here, especially not with the Cassidy now rotating around to help them out. But hopefully our Tracer can win that 1v1. Oh, Sigma's pressuring us. We don't want to fade until there's a rock, really, at this point. Otherwise, we've got to fade right back. That 1v1 with the Tracer still going on in the background. We do get tagged, though, by the Cassidy a little bit too much. Probably should have stayed in for cover a little bit. And it did look like our Tracer did get eliminated by enemy Kiriko. So enemy team now in the lead. We get Fan the Hammered at point-blank range. I think with a damage amp. Kind of painful. There's Mercy's flying around up top. Oh. Now, yeah, maybe this push-out's not great. Everyone's saying regroup, but I like to be as active as possible and try and get some sort of damage out on them, but the huge hit from the Sigma followed by the Cassidy. Slightly frustrating, I know. Mercy's saying no res for the next 4 seconds is fine. I didn't want to be resed any. I feel like a res here would be bad. We fired the heal orb in case the Mercy suddenly changed direction. That was the only chance to save her with that heal orb. Now enemy team is making the progress in the final stretch. So we are going to push over to there, leave our cart for now. I've already fired the damage orb. Oh, Mercy's very low, but good movement from the Mercy. Probably should have found a little bit of coalescence there to heal the Tracer, but I was, yeah, in a damage mindset there. You know, I'm not perfect. Now damage orb over to them as well. We're going to have to fade around the corner, drop our gadget. That's going to give us a bit of healing. Sigma is pushing up round to the corner as well. Good job from the Winston contesting the objective. We don't want to fire our heal orb yet because Sigma could eat it. Sigma is behind us, but we're trying to take down the Kiriko. We do manage to take them down. Sigma is occupied. Huge cleanup. Looks like we're going to take this lead here. Tracer now over onto the point. I'm sort of expecting the Tracer to rotate right there. There she is. That's the reason why I didn't just suddenly push back towards ours, because if the Tracer needs cover after taking damage, they're going to go over to their objective to try and make some progress. Just simply because they'll play like us and try and keep active. And if there's nothing else to do, push the objective. 2-0 is the score against this rank 1 5-stack.
Time for the teams to gear up.
Okay, going into round 3. If you've got a second to hit the like button while I explain the picks that we're doing, it'd be much appreciated. We're going to take Weapon Jammer because it's just going to maximize our DPS. Also gives a bit of armor to help survive. We need to have some sort of life in this build, like extra life. Advanced Nanobiotics and Shield Buster don't give us anything. The Gadget does. Weapon Jammer does. And I'm opting for Precarious Potency because I know their damage is going to get stronger and we do need to provide some healing. But I don't plan to actively be around my team. Like, not too much anyway. So, Precarious Potency is almost designed for how I play Moira. A kind of fire and forget, you know, just get one little burst of healing on them and they're going to get healing for the next 5 seconds. And then you can carry on doing your damage. So, I've been really, really liking it in my builds recently. I think it will probably be a permanent feature alongside Chain Grasp. Sometimes we'll go for Ethereal Excision if we want to apply debuffs. Sometimes Cross Orbal if we want more self-healing for ourselves. But in this one, it's like, no, I feel like my team are going to need some sort of healing because, you know, these are good players. So, round 3 underway. It's going really well so far. Okay, we see the Tracer. They're out of range though, so we're just trying to put some damage out over onto the Cassidy or Sigma. It's pushing up. We're going to go for the rotate. Monkey goes in for a huge jump, but wow, gets absolutely deleted. No one's healing that. No one's saving that. We also get taken down. We're trying to fade last second, which, you know, I'll always do. Just try and extract value. It does mean that we get caught out quite often, but the amount of value that we get, I feel, makes up for it more in the long run. So we'll keep on doing that. Let's get a little bit of heal over times over onto Mercy and the Cassidy there. As our Tracer takes down the enemy Tracer, gives us a little bit of an advantage here. We can drop the Gadget if we need it. Trying to get the Sigma down as much as possible. Quick heal over time over onto the Winston. Our Cassidy does get taken down though. Mercy with the res does put us in a good position again. Oh, lots of low health players. Cassidy's just around the corner. We're trying to focus Sigma. Now there's a shield though. We're going to attack the Cassidy. Fade through, but they took the mini and the Mercy was there. Wasn't expecting that. We're just on full damage on them. We're in our Gadget, but we can't take down the Cassidy. And that's a scenario where, even though we're kind of occupying 2 players, because we've got the Mercy and the Cassidy, we weren't there to provide any little heal over times onto our team. So enemy team making some progress as Tracer retreats over to the Mega on the left. And we're going back in for a push. Winston is very, very strong in Stadium, so I'm very happy that we've got this Chain Grasp over onto the Kiriko. We see the low health Cassidy taken down. Tracer's also taken down. Heal over time onto the Winston before starting to attack the Sigma. We're pushing. Sigma gets taken down. Make sure that the bot's moving before we push and trace the Tracer down. Tracer does also get eliminated. And now we're waiting for our fade so we can jump up top. Just we know our team's going to rotate around there. Fire the damage orb early. We've got Coalescence, but oh no. We get hindered. Was it Fanhammer? Whatever, we got killed by the Cassidy. And we haven't yet taken the lead, so it's kind of costly again. You know, I say in retrospect, but so many times we'll make a play like that and actually get a kill. So the times that it goes wrong, fine, it goes wrong. Our Cassidy gets taken down, but we still have our Winston there as well. We've got our Coalescence. Oh, no. Okay, that one was just a little bit stupid. I mean, we wanted to fade forward so we could start to get damage out as soon as possible, but unfortunately, that wasn't the best plays. It's always frustrating to get killed, push in, and then get killed again. So let's go for 3 in a row. Our Tracer and Winston absolutely cleaning up. So we've been dealt champion level cards for our teammates this time to fight against these people. Matchmaker seems to be good. Well, we're going to fade out of that. Monkey gets hit by it. We're not saving the Monkey here. We did drop our Gadget just in case somehow they survived or maybe they hit their ult. But low health players. Tracer taken down as well. Kiriko's a little bit low, but comes in with a Suzu. Try and dodge the Sigma shots here. We've also got our orb. Sigma smartly eats that one up. We've got our gadget there as backup, but we're going to try a fake out over onto the Mercy. We can use the gadget, but as soon as we think we're going to be in combat, we'll drop that down. Damage coming out over onto the players. Mercy doing a good job healing them though. Cassidy rolls into us there. We're just going to try and keep them busy here. It's going to be very difficult. We hadn't taken any damage when we fired the orb. We thought we were probably missing at least some health. They did fly away. Doesn't matter though. They would have taken us down with 2 DPS. And even though we're slightly in the lead, that is about to evaporate in overtime. We've got to rely on our Tracer doing some God's work here, which to be fair, they've been doing most of the game so far. Try and heal the Mercy. We've lost the lead. We jump in because we want to start making our way there in order to contest it. We had to do it. Didn't work. 5 eliminations, 6 deaths that round. Not our finest work. I mean, we were still doing stuff, but those couple of deaths in a row cost us because that was the time when we would have been making just that little bit of distance that gives us some breathing room. 2-1 to score. We're going into round 4 on the Clash map. Doesn't make too much of a difference to the build here. We have 11k here to spend, so we are looking at the 10k items because we've got a couple of slots. Options for us with that is going to be a 10k and a 1k. I always like to try and divide up the cash that way. Vanadium injection giving us 50 shields, but crucially giving us 100 extra life. Once we've got that going, our ultimate starts to lose power as we invest more in weapon power. So Vanadium, I've been also liking this a bit more recently just because of the extra health. The movement speed's also great once you've got Ethereal Excision. It becomes really, really good. And yeah, right now I just, rather than buying, say, something like Iron Eyes to save me from the Cassidy headshots, just having extra health helps with that. So I get this one. I'm not getting Phantasmic Flux here because I'm thinking normally when we're in combat, we're not actually having that much time before we've got to leave combat. And I'm concerned that we're not going to get that 100 over health very often. So yeah, we opt for Vanadium.
3, 2, 1.
Right, can we get ourselves into a commanding 3-1 lead? Or are they going to bring this scoreline back to 2-2? We got a few early rounds, but is that just an early power spike? Let's find out. Enemy team not pushed in right away. They're all grouping. See, we're split because we're basically independent solo queue players and a duo, and yeah, they waited and punished that. That's the sign of communication and a stack playing like a stack, the kind of thing that we have to deal with. And it's like, it's easy to say, well, just follow all of your team, or we're going to fade away from the Sigma. It's easy to say, just follow your team around and that. Well, no, because they'll communicate it more, but they could also pre-plan this stuff. They know how each other plays. We only have to use our experience on the ladder as we try and put out damage there. Quick heal over time over onto the Winston, but Mercy seems to have got this. I don't think we're going to be able to get another push in here, but we can at least poke and get some damage. Maybe get a cheeky kill. Dropped our gadget, so since we've got nothing here to survive, we're going to fall back behind some natural cover. Heal over onto the Winston there. Chain grasp off of the Sigma. There's a Tracer point blank onto us. We're not too intimidated by that. We've got quite a bit of armor here as well. As the Cassidy we are still intimidated by. Nearly got our Vanadium up here. Oh, there we go. The extra health spike. 449 max health as of now. It's going to increase as we get more cash though in the game. See, 450 now. Our team's over on the point. There's only the Tracer really contesting it. We do want to support our tank, but there's no way I'm standing point blank against that Cassidy to do it. So we'll just try and get the heals over there. Oh, big rock from the enemy Sigma. In comes the ult as well. We're actually going to use our Coalescence because it's the only way that we can get the reliable healing while they're in the air with both players. And even though it's going to cost us our Vanadium, I feel like it's too costly to have our Winston and Cassidy both get killed by the Sigma ult. Winston did have his ult, I think. If not, he used it just afterwards. But yeah, I think saving those players is worth the trade-off in this situation. It sucks to not have our Vanadium, but it would suck even more if we just lost this round. So, we're still in the game. Going to have this mid-fight again. Bounce that damage orb across. I mean, it's going to hit someone. We know that the Tracer's behind us. But the Cassidy shots, and I think Kiriko might have also connected on us there. Causing a problem. Great res from the Mercy. Very much needed. Good timing. We've got our gadget down here. Heal over time applied. Can we get over towards the Mercy up top? That's going to be a problem. Yeah, there's not a lot they can do against that Sigma pushing them there. We jump up top to fight the Tracer. I mean, we jumped for safety, but we had to fight the Tracer. And this is not looking great. Sigma very low, though. If Winston can get up there before Mercy heals up, also pressure from the Tracer, the enemy tank might go down here. Even though we've got limited numbers, Mercy doing her best to try and survive. Does get taken down. Winston also lifted up by the Sigma ult. This, yeah, it's not looking good anymore. We've got to somehow get in and touch this against the Kiriko ult as well. We fade back to try and hide. We use our gadget as well because we need sustain. Is there any chance of us going back in here? Simple dodge of the rock there. Fire the heal orb because we know we've got to make our way forward. There's too many players though. We've got to get a bit closer to fade. Otherwise they'll just turn around and kill us. We need to actually get some distance over onto the point. Oh, we still have players on the point though. Can they survive for long enough? Mercy gets taken down. Winston's not going to last long in there on their own, surely. Tracer into the point, and again, even if we make it here, at this point we're just kind of giving them kills. Fan the Hammer comes in with a hinder, and yeah, we get taken down. Score 2-2. Enemy team gained a huge cash lead now. As King Von says, Moira time to heal, I think. It's absolutely not the time to heal. Like, we're putting out okay heals. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a low number compared to what you would get if you were healing out with a Moira, but if we just sit there and heal, we're going to get absolutely obliterated. It's very hard for Moira to go and heal Tracer, Winston, and Mercy. So who am I healing? Just the Cassidy? No. So we're also, the reason why we're up in front of the tank is we're range limited. We're trying to be active. Tank's Winston. So what, we're going to sit back, and then when the Winston jumps in, we move forward, and when it doesn't really work. So I get the frustration. They're looking for something to change, so I'm not going to blame them. I'm not going to like flame them for it. But now is not the time to heal. If anything, now is the time for us to provide anti-healing. Super Serum. Remembered it this time. If I was to get Super Serum here, that's Chain Grasp, extra damage. Techno Leech, get some of that health. That's looking alright, isn't it? Now, do I want Cross Orbal for self-healing? Maybe. So that would help keep us alive, but it doesn't really stack into anything. Ethereal also helps keep us alive, but it gives us options for this anti-heal. I want that Super Serum so badly. Just the problem with it, I keep going, like, sliding back and forward. The problem with that Super Serum is that it's inactive for a lot of the time. El Saka Suppressor is probably really going to help us out. The enemy Mercy had a lot of healing, so we're going to opt to take that and go for that kind of anti-heal. Hopefully reduce Mercy's effectiveness. And then someone like Sigma might think, oh, well, Mercy is pocketing me in the sky healing, and then they don't quite get the health that they were expecting. So no, we're still on our little heal over time, precarious potency, but mostly DPS build. And I feel like that's the best balance you're going to have for a mobile comp like ours. I mean, we're not going to like suddenly change into orbs or something and just weapon power healing chase around while we're being shot at with no extra survivability for ourselves is not going to be a good idea. So our Winston gets taken down, same with Cassidy. We're going to be able to fade out of here, but there is a Cassidy flanking our Mercy. We do ping it and then try and attack it as well. Sigma shield's there, so that's the end of that. We're going to fade this rock because if we don't, I think it kills us, or if not, the follow-up definitely kills us. Sometimes you don't have to fade, you can risk the dodge because there's a chance that you can take the hit and still live. Fire a scouting orb into that room just to see if there was a Tracer flanking, but actually our Tracer did take them down. And now even though they killed our Winston, we can put a lot of damage out with Chain Grasp here actually. Mercy survives. Now that the Cassidy's res, we have to fade just in case we get immediately stunned. As our team does push back in, Winston's back already. Enemy team did capture the point though, but Sigma's getting very, very low. We did apply some debuffs to them there. Also get a little bit of those heal over times. We're going to try and support the tank in this push because everybody else is surely going to be able to take care of that Tracer. Now we have to fade back. We need to make sure that we're using the cover a little bit. I don't really want to be that far out. That little cylinder there makes all of the difference. Like, good map design. Well, very anti-Moira map design. Rank 1 Kiriko just fell off the map jumping out the window. If you want to rewind that one. I get it. Like, you'd just assume there's a flaw there. But, no. That was not intentional as we fade back here. We don't need to coalescence this time because there's only one player. We can reliably heal them because we're in range. Because now we fire the damage orb. Mercy gets annihilated trying to get the res. She did actually get the res off, but it's cost her a life, and that's a lot of their healing. Enemy Kiriko would have to try and default back into that healer role for now until Mercy's back up. So we're just going to try and put some damage out. Chain Grasp also hitting players. Tracer goes down. We can't afford to go down as well here. So we are going to fire a heal orb both for ourselves and for our Winston up front. You take down the enemy Kiriko. Cassidy misses the stun on us. That's big. Heal orb again for both of us as we put more pressure on them. Trying to keep that Sigma low health. Winston's got his jump. Rock comes in. Misses. We're going to play up front here. Keep this damage up if we can because there's a lot of players low, but we do have to fade this one. Coalescence could have been used there, but we also could have just not used it, and that's what we chose. As now Mercy below. We want to take down this Mercy before she gets any cheeky rares. She gets punched in the face. Sigma now floating around the jump pad. I mean, yeah, this is very good for us here. Very, very nice round. Team played excellently. Got 7k damage, 2.7 healing. It's kind of a middle finger to the maybe now's the time to heal because we did even less healing that round and yet still came out with a win. 3-2, we only need one more. The money is basically even. This is a really close game. It's lucky we got match made with some actual good players, even outside of a stack. Yeah, I'm not done talking about that, guys. Blizzard, if you're listening, I don't know why you'd be this far into a Moira mains video, but if you are listening, us solo queue players are having a really bad time right now. There's extra incentive this season for people to group together and carry on grouping in try-hard stacks because now there's a leaderboard in Stadium. High-ranked stacks were removed from competitive ages ago for a reason. They were added again due to content creator pressure because they wanted to get boosted themselves and said, oh no, we want to play with friends. But yeah, there was a reason why they were removed and people were complaining. I don't know if you guys can remember back that far. But we're getting the same thing in Stadium now, where when you're a high-ranked player and you play solo queue and everybody that you're against is a stack, it's just unenjoyable to play. Solo queue players should be playing against other solo queue players for fairness. That you're going to get the most balanced games. Stacks should be playing against stacks. And I don't even just mean like full 5 stacks. I mean groups in general. At a minimum, match the number of group players in the same group size. So don't have a 4 stack against 2 duos. Have 4 stacks versus 4 stacks. Actually, I think 4 stacks should be banned completely because you always get them one solo queue player. But 5 stacks versus 5 stacks, trios versus trios. If it's a trio with a duo, match that as well. Anyway, let's get back to the game. I can rant about that all night. I'm probably even going to make a video ranting a lot more on that. Make sure you don't watch it. As now we go into the round. Mercy is rezzing us here. Well, tried to res us. I said that so confidently, like, yeah, we're getting rezzed. So Winston does get taken down. If we win this round, we win the game. So yeah, we're certainly trying to win this one. Both teams pushing the objective far. Chain Grass comes in. Oh, that's big. We're looking for the Mercy. Make sure we pressure her so that Cassidy can't get res. I think she's decided against it, realizing that she is taking damage. There's still time, though. Unfortunately, we can't be there forever. So now attacking the Sigma. Ooh, Sigma very, very low. Just went out of range there, or at least behind the shield. We do manage to take him down. Team making some objective progress. Don't know what that orb was. I mean, we were trying to activate Chain Grass, but yeah, we couldn't see them there. Damage from the enemy Kiriko. Oh, there's a Cassidy there. We're waiting for them to pop out. They're probably in third person. Oh, they're low. Fade forward to try. Oh, he's got way too much health, so we're not pushing that. But they now know that I'm here, which is a problem. I'm going to bounce a heal orb in that room. Try and stay in there until the Cassidy gets there, but they did manage to roll forward and flashbang us just before we faded. Our Mercy also gets taken down. Tracer, can they get a kill? They've been playing really, really well. Oh, our Cassidy does get taken down. Enemy Tracer there. We can Chain Grasp off of something here, whether it's the Signal or the Tracer. This does recall behind us. We're aware of her right now. We don't need to fade it yet. Now we can fade it. We tank a bit of the damage because if we fade too early, we either get chased down or they attack somebody else. So holding the fade. Unfortunately, though, Sparta does take us out. King Von taking down Sparta, though. Mercy going in for that res. Gets that player back up. Enemy team have the numbers here. But we are still in the lead with the objective. Heal orb over onto the Mercy. Try and save them. Put a bit of pressure up onto the Tracer. They can recoil. In fact, they just blinked and took the mini, Mega even. now, yeah, we've got our ult. We're going to have to use it here. It's the only way that we can get the healing over onto the Winston. It does cost us our life and our Vanadium, but we weren't getting in range of the Winston to support them any other way. And Coalescence healing is still okay. Precarious Potency is going to be, yeah, really good. Just you're healing for like 200 with a heal over time. But yeah, I know it wouldn't be enough without the Coalescence. So here we go. They're saying regroup here. See, I agree, but I still want to be active. It's going to push forward. Our Winston gets killed. That's annoying. We're going to have to fade over towards the point. There's 4 players here. There's no chance of survival. I think the Winston's the same. It's like we just believe that we can survive a little longer than we can. Like sometimes. And that's, in my opinion, it is also the sign of a confident and good player. That they are willing to take those risks and sometimes they don't pay off. Winston jumping in again, gets deleted. It's a problem, but they had to. Look, there is no other option there.
Let's check the standings.
So, enemy team now have a 20k cash lead. Does it make that much of a difference, though, at this stage when we're going into round 7? Enemy Sigma got 16k. Our highest was 9k on Tracer. That's where they got the advantage from. Their team dominated us cash-wise. What is the last power going to be? How are we going to shuffle these items? We did buy Phantasmic Flux in the previous round, along with Booster Jets. But I really didn't like Phantasmic Flux for the reasons that I said earlier. And it's rare for me to give up Phantasmic Flux, but in this case, I think we could do this a little bit differently. If we buy Eye of the Spider, we've got 8k left. That's not great. We could go for Eye of the Spider and Shield Buster. That wouldn't be too bad. But if we shuffle around these items a little bit, we get rid of El Saka Suppressor. Oh, no, not El Saka Suppressor. You know what? Weapon Jammer, is it? What have we got rid of? I don't know, but let's have a look. Aerial Distressor, Eye of the Spider. For Sky Ordnance, I'm not too happy with. Codebreaker, they don't really have the armor. Alternative Energy doesn't give me any real benefits. So we've got El Saka Suppressor, Weapon Jammer, and Vanadium. Then Eye of the Spider, Aerial Distresser, and Super Serum. Are we actually going to continue with it this time? For the powers, we've got options for Void Hoppers. We've got options for Cross Orbital to give us extra self-heal when we fire those damage orbs out. Or we've got Deconstruction. Could even go Phantasm. But we're firing a lot of damage orbs, so it's not really going to help us live anymore. Let's see what we're going to pick for the power. We're not going multi-ball. Cross Orbital, give us that little bit extra self-sustain. 471 life that we've got at the moment. And yeah, I like the Aerial Distresser because the Sigma's always flying up in the air. There's still also the Mercy. It gives us some attack speed. Also gives us some shields, which is extra life, which is one of the main reasons for getting it as well. Like, I don't just want a glass cannon thing. That extra 25 health is really helpful, especially the way that I play. We pop our gadget. Winston gets instantly deleted again. Going for the push. This is their enemies showing their coordination as a stack again. Because they were just waiting. I think they learned from the previous round that Winston will just eventually push out and jump onto them. So why not just wait for it to happen? They don't have to push in. And Winston, I believe, is solo queue. Yeah, because it was our DPS. So they're just playing the way that they have the. We get caught in that as well. Heal Orb saves us. We try to save the Tracer, but get hit by the rock. They're saying monkey stop feeding. The monkeys play in the way that the monkey plays. In this situation, I think, yeah, maybe they need a slight adaptation to just delay until the enemies are all visible for the rest of our team. I think enemy team are just being smart here. Making a lot of progress now. They've got it up to the checkpoint. We don't want them to get it any further than that checkpoint for free if possible. Even like extra meters. Well, they've already started moving it. Tracer's on us, so we're going to fade in a second. Super Serum popped. Not popped even. We just used our orb. There we go. We pop it now. Get a little bit of damage. There's a Sigma next to us as well. We're going to fade the rock, get onto the high ground. Sigma comes in. Can we delete the Sigma before it slams down? No, we can't. It looks like our Mercy was doing a good job healing. And it's our team's time to shine. Can we get a push up to the checkpoint? That would be really valuable to get it at least that far. We don't necessarily have to take the lead, but getting into the checkpoint would be huge for us because then that prevents the pause. And if we win another team fight, we can make some real progress and try to take the lead after that. Winston jumps in. Oh, we make sure we kill the clone first. Just prevent any strong weapon power healing. It is low health, so get that out of the way as we fade all the way back. Super Serum was used in that last attack. Didn't really do too much aerial distress, although doing great work up against the Sigma. Monkey jumping up as well. We are going to get the checkpoint, and here's where that pause comes into play. Because we're 4 meters behind, but we've got to wait a little bit of time, and this gives time for the enemy team to spawn. We are going to take the lead, which is now very handy, but every meter really counts here. Because you lose one team fight, well, maybe not with 37 seconds left, but you know, after this fight, if it goes on too long, if you lose one, they can definitely take the lead again without some heroic like Winston stall. Aerial distress over onto Sigma again. Huge damage. Take out the clones. There's no more healing. Try and keep the players low health. Tracer is chasing us. We get the rock gets blocked by something. I don't know what it was, but thanks to whoever that did that, whether it's a person or a wall, I don't know. We fire the damage orb there because we had a player behind Sigma. Very, very low. Our team's making huge progress. This is looking really, really good for us. Cassidy over on the right side. Somebody's got to push out. We want to try and get some damage across Orbital. Accidentally healing the Winston there as they pushed in. Tracer getting the kill over onto the Cassidy. Oh, it looks like many players are down. Just don't all get annihilated by this ult. Sigma, the only one over onto the point. We don't need to heal. We just need to try and get them down. Look around for the... well, there's no one else there. And we take the victory.
Surrender to my will.
Also take the cash lead, but we had a 19% boost. So yeah, fine. That was GG. It was a good game. This is what happens when we win the lottery when it comes to teammates. But the stack never has to win the lottery. They just get the teammates every round. With us, some rounds we do, some rounds we don't. If you're a mathematician, you'll realize that over time that just loses, and all the stack has to do is keep playing games. They're like the casino. Right guys, thanks for watching. GG.